So hello and welcome. In this video, I will show you a yoga flow, or you don't even have to call it yoga. It's just a certain way of moving your body that should feel good for you, whether you are a pregnant mama or whether you're postnatal. And as they say, once you've had a child, you are postnatal for the rest of your life. So I am postnatal, both 4 years and 2 years. And I'm also a prenatal, postnatal yoga teacher. And this practice it's gleaned from many, many years of experience watching pregnant women's bodies and aiding them and aiding myself in feeling more grounded, feeling more connected to divinity, and feeling more at ease with life. So I do hope that this practice serves you, and as always, I am ready, willing, and able to answer each and every question that might arise. Please don't hesitate to reach out. My direct email address is openmindyoga@gmail.com.
To begin your practice, you might like to place a yoga mat or a towel on the floor, and then getting onto your hands and knees should be a good way to get started. So coming to hands and knees, feeling the ground, particularly with the palms of the hands, allowing your energy to join with the energy of the earth, really place your energy into your hands and allow that energy to flow downward to the center of the earth and then back up and all the way into your belly. As far as movements here, please feel free to take as much time as you need on hands and knees, just moving the body in a way that works for you. And then if you'd like to come into downward facing dog position, this is what I'm demonstrating here, and continuing that flow, that movement in the body. You might want to walk the legs in place, move the head around, move the hips around, just really allowing the wisdom of your own body to shine through for you. Very important to rest whenever you need to rest. But if you feel like coming forward into an upward facing dog position, you can do that. Placing the knees on the floor is optional. And then coming back into downward facing dog or back to hands and knees, continuing to move, to breathe, to flow. And make sure you get comfortable. So socks off is preferable when we're practicing yoga, just to get a little extra traction for our feet and our toes. And in your own time, you're going to find your way into child's pose. And for most women, I would say child's pose is much more comfortable with the knees spread fairly wide apart, wide enough so that your belly can just rest easy between your thighs, and then your forehead and your arms are resting on the earth. And this is an important opportunity to give yourself the gift of comfort. So if taking child's pose, your head does not reach the floor, you should feel free to place a blanket or a block under your forehead. And then just continue to flow. You might want to come onto your hands and knees again, bring the chest forward, start to move the hips around, side to side. You can step your right foot over to the left, step the left foot over to the right. Of course, not worrying at all about the video or the moves that I'm doing, and following your intuition. Perhaps you want to step the right foot forward, coming into a bit of a lunge, and working with the hips here, allowing the hips to come forward and then gently to draw back, making your way into a twist. And of course, padding up that back knee can be great, taking a blanket under the back knee if there's not enough cushioning. And whatever we do on one side, we want to do on the other side as well. So stepping the left foot forward, coming into that lunge, playing around with it, breathing into the hips, breathing deeply, and moving into the twist. And of course, you can open up that twist by bringing the right hand a little further over to the right to make extra space for the belly. And when you're ready, stepping back. You can hang out in child's pose for a little bit, or you can keep working with the lunges. Right foot forward, left foot back. This time you can bring the back knee off the floor. Taking deep, full breaths into the hips. And again, finding your twist, either with the back knee down or with the knee up as I'm demonstrating. And shifting that left hand over to the side to give extra room for the belly. Really lovely to do that, especially when you're pregnant. Bringing the hands back down. And we're coming up into side angle variation. So for your side angle, your right hand is going to come to the inside of the right foot. The left arm is going to reach up and overhead. Taking a block under the right hand is a great idea, or you can walk that right hand up onto the right leg, maybe extending the front leg, so more of a triangle kind of situation there. Front leg straight, and then releasing out of it. Take your time moving into and out of these poses, stepping forward, stepping the right foot back, starting again with that lunge. Back knee up off the floor or on the floor on some padding. So really checking in with yourself about what feels good to you. Coming into that twist, opening up the twist a little bit so there's more room for the belly. Allowing the light of your heart to shine up toward the heavens. And bringing the hands back down. Spinning the right foot down to the floor, and we're going to come up into that side angle variation on the other side. So you can always do the left elbow on the left knee, the front elbow on the front knee, or you can bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot. Just playing around with that right arm a little bit, releasing any tension, and straightening the front leg, lifting up and out of the hips. Coming forward again with the straight front leg for triangle pose. And then both hands coming down to the floor. And stepping back, downward facing dog or child's pose. So breathing into your body, breathing into the energy that you're feeling, swirling through the body. Recognizing this energy and you, yourself, they're completely united, inseparable. This breath, this energy, this vibration of you living your life is the expression of divinity, of wholeness, this union, body, heart, and mind. And go ahead and lift one leg, perhaps your right leg up toward the ceiling. Coming into your downward dog split, and then bringing the knee in toward the nose. So keep playing with that, bringing the knee in toward the nose, and then stretching the leg out. And then switching to the other leg, knee in toward the nose, and then extend that heel away. Drawing the knee in and back. And then finding yourself back in child's pose, releasing completely, allowing the weight of the head to settle into the floor. There's a few different ways to practice child's pose. And whatever you're doing, you want to make sure that uh, the pose feels relaxing, feels easy to you. So there shouldn't be any strain in the body. It should be a position where you can fully relax. If this does not feel relaxing, you need to get curious and find a position that does. Um, there is a way to modify child's pose in lots of different ways using props, um, but you can also try a different position altogether, because the thing that's important is not the shape that your body is in. It's how your inner world is vibrating, is how you're responding to yourself. So to continue, you can come back to hands and knees, and now we're going to play with extending the right leg up and back. So this is actually called tiger pose. You can kind of play with bending that knee and straightening that leg out. And then if you want to work on strengthening the arms, you can begin to shift forward a little bit, keeping that back leg lifted, bending the elbows in toward your waist. This is a really nice way to strengthen the core abdominals as well. So we're thinking about utilizing the lower belly, the strength of the lower belly, lifting in toward the low back. And switching whenever you're ready. So extending the left leg out, playing around for a while with bending the knee. And then maybe if you feel like it, starting to bend those elbows in toward you, kind of like a chaturanga feeling, if you know what chaturanga pose is. And then we'll stretch the back of the leg by pressing the heel down toward the floor. Remembering to breathe deeply, explore for yourself. So now we're stepping the left foot over to the right. And then we're going to go to the other side, step the right foot over to the left, getting a little stretch for the outer hips here. Of course, you can close the eyes throughout the practice whenever you need to fully ground yourself and really notice where you are in the practice. And starting to kneel up, rolling yourself up, coming up onto the knees. Knees are hip distance apart. We're going to place the hands into the lower back and continuing to move into flow, utilizing the breath, finding a little bit of a back bend here, particularly in the upper back. We're lifting those core abdominals, we're lifting the chest up toward the ceiling. So we're not really thinking about drawing back as we are thinking about lifting up. So rooting down through the legs, through the shins, through the tops of the feet, and lifting up through the crown of the head. And now we're going to bring some attention to the forehead, the inner eye chakra. So taking your own hands to your forehead and giving it a little massage, just imagining that that third eye, that eye of intuition, wisdom, fluttering open, releasing open, unclouding, unveiling for you the truth of your reality and the truth of your existence. Allowing yourself to kind of pry open that third eye without necessarily forcing it in any way. Just a gentle massage, feeling into the forehead and then bringing the fingertips toward the top of the head, massaging the crown area, thinking about the top of the head opening, energetically releasing upward, thinking about your energy lifting up through the roots, all the way through the chakras and out through the crown of the head, like a fountain, splashing all around to all sides in a toroidal field pattern, and then gathering back in. So coming down through the earth, gathering back in through the root, and lifting back up again. Thinking about that movement, that lift through the midline, that sort of explosion, expulsion, ejaculation through the crown, the energy releasing all over, and then coming back in through the root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and up again through the crown. Whatever movement you feel like doing to really feeling into that energy, you can do that, or you can remain in stillness and just feel the energy inside of you. Feel that patterning. Maybe playing around with a little more back bending. Listening to your body's wisdom. Releasing any tension from the face. Thinking about the flow of chi, prana, energy up, up, up through the front of the throat, third eye, up through the crown of the head. You can play with extending the arms up. Whenever you like, you can sit back. And then we're going to do a few seated poses. So starting with your butterfly pose, feet together, knees apart. Hold on to your ankles here, lift the front of the chest. And then working with the head, gently rolling the head in a circular motion, one direction, and then the other direction. And breathing into all the parts of the neck that might be communicating things to you, switching direction, going the other way whenever you like. Rolling the head, feeling the muscles of the neck. Releasing tension, and concluding with the chin in toward the chest. Breathing space here into the back of the head, the back of the skull, backs of the shoulders. Moving into your forward fold without attaching to how far forward you're going to go. I love to encourage my students, my clients to use props here in their forward fold position. It's really lovely to create an opportunity for the body to release a little deeper. And you can accomplish that by using a bolster like I'm doing in the video, or a block, or just a bunch of rolled up pillows or cushions. So you can get creative about your props here. We're spending time in the forward fold. Again, not worrying too much about how far forward you're folded. It has nothing to do with your level of enlightenment. Starting to flow in a little bit of a side-to-side motion if that feels good to you. I do it because it feels good to me. Yeah, finding that deep full inhale and that deep full exhale. Breathing all the way down into the pelvis, the hips, the legs, all of that rooting, grounding energy. And exhaling, releasing out through the head. So creating kind of like a loop, energetic loop. Listening to your body, noticing if you might like to shift into a different position, and just getting curious about where that impulse is coming from. If it's coming from this kind of busy mind that wants to always move, or if it's coming from a place of healing and release. And eventually we are going to make our way up. And I love to do some face yoga as well, so we don't want to neglect our face. So just like make some really silly, funny faces here, stretching open the mouth, moving the mouth side to side as you start to roll the torso in a circle. Maybe you want to yawn here, play with the eyebrows. Breathe into your face, creating these shapes that are quite different from your regular face. And this is the lion's pose. So we're breathing in and we're exhaling, opening the eyes super wide, looking up, sticking the tongue out. And you don't have to do that thing with the hands. I just do that because I'm used to teaching yoga at a preschool. So I'm used to doing my lion's pose and putting the hands up in claws like that. You can do that. It's really fun. But you don't have to. But you don't have to do anything. So a wide-legged forward fold now. So opening the legs out. The knees don't have to straighten. The legs don't have to straighten. You can keep a little bit of a bend in the knee. But you might like to straighten the legs just to feel into that extension forward of the body. So again, just listening to what feels good to you. And then taking a prop under the forehead, bolster, or a yoga block, or a few yoga blocks. I always encourage folks in my classes to grab however many blocks they'll need. So if you need 4 yoga blocks, grab 4 yoga blocks. It's not a problem. Breathing your way through the forward fold. Noticing what comes up for you. Are there certain emotions or certain thoughts that call your attention forward? And just really allowing yourself to be with the practice and be with the body. Such a precious, precious opportunity. Maybe you'd like to come over to one side, so head reaching toward the right foot, and then over to the other side, head reaching over toward the left foot. Uncovering, discovering, rejoicing in your divinity, in the beauty and the majesty that is your body. Coming back into your forward fold, breathing your way through it, thinking about extending the heart forward as the hips draw in toward the earth. And then we're going to gather the knees in, place the feet flat into the floor, hands behind the back, fingertips in toward you, press down through the hands, down through the feet. And you can either just lift the chest, keeping the hips on the floor, or you can lift the hips as well into a tabletop position. So bringing the belly up toward the ceiling. allowing the pelvis to come down and then lifting it back up. Breathe into the shoulders. You can bring the chin in toward the chest. Take your time to come out of the pose. Whenever you're done with that, extending the legs out in front of you. Pressing the hands down, lifting the chest. Now the right foot steps to the outside of the left leg. The left foot to the outside of the right leg. Playing with the feet, rolling out the ankles. Coming into a forward fold here, lifting the arms up and then coming forward over straight legs. Legs straight or a little bend in the knees, can't hurt. Utilizing props again can be really helpful. So you can hug something between the legs. Take all the time you need to get really comfortable. Breathing into the back of the body. And then we're going to roll onto the back, opening the arms out to the sides. And letting yourself deeply rest here. So we've come to the end stage of our practice. This is everyone's favorite yoga pose called Shavasana. Shavasana is a space for integration, a space where we can simply be just as we are. And whether there are sirens around us or we're in a beautiful, quiet, tranquil space, we can create that sense of tranquility and peace inside our hearts. That is a superpower that each and every one of us has. And feel free to make yourself comfortable in Shavasana. You can move around, you can turn from side to side, you can move the legs from side to side. You don't have to be in complete stillness, although you definitely can if that's what feels good to you. So all that to say, just to allow your body and how you're feeling to inform your practice, to inform your flow, your movement. Let your breath inform you. Learn from your inner wisdom what it is that you need right here, right now. You cannot go wrong by following your own innate, inborn wisdom. So taking all the time you need in Shavasana, you are more than welcome to pause this recording and take an extra 10 minutes or so lying in this super restorative position. But when you are ready to come up, I encourage you to do it in several stages. So first you'll want to hug the knees in toward your chest. Take a little time there hugging the knees in. Then you will want to roll to the side to lie in fetal position, which I am not really demonstrating in this video. You can find the fetal position if you just Google it. So coming into that fetal position and breathing there for as long as you can is really, really lovely. And that's what really makes our home practice such a rich space of exploration, because of course we're able to go into poses and hold those poses and really feel our way through the yoga flow in a way that we're not really able to do in a yoga class. I always encourage the students in my class to follow their inner guidance, to basically ignore what I'm saying as much as possible and really trust their body's wisdom. But nonetheless, the yoga class that I teach has a start time and an end time, has periods when we're standing and periods when we're sitting and periods when we're lying down. And um, folks often don't feel comfortable doing anything different for too long. And I completely understand that. But at home, you get to fully indulge your body, your higher self, to ooh, to just play, to play in that space of ease and flow. And this is what we want to get really comfortable with. This is the experience that we want to get really familiar with. This is our heritage. This is our blessing. As humans, we have this flow, we have this feeling of joy and peace, and we are able to access it. We are actually able to live from that place of pure, unconditional love. This is our divine nature. So, in my yoga classes, so often I hear people tell me how amazing they felt in Shavasana, and I always just want to say that is your real self. That is you meeting your higher self, you embodying your higher self. And yeah, it feels good. And yeah, at first it can feel a little bit scary and out of control. And yeah, it can feel very different, like you're not yourself. So all those feelings, we need to face them. We need to accept them, um, and we need to get really comfortable living in joy, living in bliss, responding to our lives from a space of sacredness, beauty, and peace. If we are able to respond from that place, from Shavasana, our lives would be oh so very different. So, in our seated position, taking the time to breathe, allowing yourself to feel what it's like to be in this body, bringing your hands together at the heart center, and bowing forward to yourself, to your own innate wisdom. Namaste. The light in me salutes the light in you.